I am 92 years old. I have buried the only woman I ever loved, and today I'm going to tell you why that love was the biggest mistake of my life. You've been told that love is enough to save a soul. It's a lie. I watched love destroy people for 9 decades. If you're chasing a feeling right now, you're walking into a trap. Stop. Sit down. Because there is something far more dangerous than hate and far more powerful than love. And if you don't learn it today, you'll end up exactly like me, alone, with a heart full of ghosts. When I was 25, I thought love was a lightning bolt. I thought if the fire was hot enough, it could burn through any problem. I chased women like a man possessed. I thought the spark was the compass. You're doing the same thing. You're looking for the one. You're looking for that chemical rush that makes your heart skip. You think that as long as you feel something, the relationship is healthy. That is the trap. In my 60s, I looked around at the couples who had stayed together. It wasn't the ones who held hands the tightest. It was the ones who looked at each other with a quiet, unshakable regard. Love can coexist with contempt. You can love someone and still scream at them. You can love someone and still belittle their dreams. You can love someone and treat them like an object. But you cannot respect someone and do those things. Respect is a barrier. It's a border. It's the realization that the person across from you is a separate, sovereign soul, not an extension of your needs. In my youth, I loved many people I didn't respect, and I destroyed every single one of those bridges. Love was the fuel, but lack of respect was the match. If you want to reach my age without a heart full of ghosts, you need to understand the mechanics of respect. It isn't earned once. It is a daily tax you pay to keep your soul intact. The first thing you must learn is the silence of the ego. Respect is most visible when you are angry. Anyone can be loving when things are easy. But when you are exhausted, when the bills are late, and when they have made a mistake, how do you speak to them? If you use their vulnerabilities as weapons, you don't respect them. You are just using love as a leash. Then there is the sanctity of boundaries. Young people today think total honesty means having no privacy. Respect is knowing where you end and they begin. It is letting them have a part of their soul that you don't own. I learned too late that trying to merge with someone isn't love. It's a soft form of tyranny. You must also learn to value character over chemistry. You are obsessed with how someone makes you feel. Start obsessing over how they treat the person who can do nothing for them. Chemistry is a trick of biology. Character is the result of 1,000 hard choices. Respect the choices, not the chemicals. Finally, remember the mirror principle. You cannot receive what you do not possess. If you hate yourself, you will eventually despise anyone who is foolish enough to love you. Self-respect is the soil. If the soil is toxic, nothing beautiful can grow, no matter how much love you pour on it. I remember a woman named Alara. This was 1958. I loved her with a passion that kept me awake at night. But I didn't respect her intellect. I thought my path was the only path. I talked over her. I made decisions for us that were really just for me. I thought love gave me the right to lead. One day she was gone. Not because the love died. She told me she still loved me as she packed her bags. She left because she couldn't breathe. I had suffocated her with my affection while starving her of my respect. You see, in your youth you are intoxicated by the idea of possession. You want to own someone's time, their thoughts, and their loyalty. You call it commitment, but often it is just a high-end form of insecurity. I see you now scrolling through screens, looking for a secret formula to happiness. You think if you find the right person, the anxiety will stop. It won't. Anxiety stops when you stop needing people to validate your existence. I wasted 40 years trying to be needed instead of being worthy. I thought being a provider meant I owned the room. I was wrong. True power isn't in how many people you control. It's in how many people feel safe in your presence. Look at your modern world. You have apps that give you access to thousands of faces, yet you have never been more alone. You hunt for chemistry like it's a drug, jumping from one bed to another, hoping the next person will fix the hole in your chest. But you cannot fix a spiritual wound with a physical act. You are starving for connection because you have forgotten how to honor the distance between two people. You think intimacy is being open, but real intimacy is being safe. If you are with someone who makes you feel like you have to walk on eggshells, you aren't in a relationship. You are in a cage. Most of you are so afraid of being alone that you accept being humiliated. You trade your dignity for a warm body next to you at night. That is a beggar's trade. I've slept in silk sheets next to a woman I didn't respect, and I've never felt more like a pauper. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the presence of people who make you feel like you have to perform to be loved. I would rather spend my final years in a silent room than spend one more hour in a loud house where no one honors the person next to them. You think you are fighting for love when you stay with someone who treats you like an option. You aren't fighting, you are surrendering. You are telling the universe that you are not worth the price of admission. Now, at 92, I don't miss the passion. I don't miss the dates or the flowers. I miss the partner I could have had if I had just viewed her as my equal. I see young men today simping or controlling, thinking they are being romantic. You aren't. You are being small. You will find that the most painful regrets at the end of your life aren't the things you didn't do. They are the people you diminished because you thought your love justified your arrogance. You thought you were protecting them, but you were actually just caging them to protect your own ego. You mistook her silence for agreement and her kindness for weakness. By the time you realize the difference, she will be a memory. Don't be fooled by the noise of the world. They want you to be a consumer of emotions, always hungry for the next spark. But sparks go out, embers remain, and those embers are kept alive by the steady breath of mutual regard. If you can't admire someone's mind, don't you dare touch their body. If you can't trust their word, don't you dare give them your heart. True love is a byproduct. It is the flower that grows in the garden of respect. If you focus on the flower, it withers. If you focus on the soil, the trust, the boundaries, the honor, the flower stays forever. Listen to me. The world will tell you to follow your heart. I am telling you to lead with your mind. Love is a luxury. Respect is a necessity. If you are in a relationship where you are loved but not respected, leave. If you are with someone you love but cannot respect, leave. It will save you decades of slow-motion heartbreak. When you are lying in a bed like this, waiting for the lights to go out, you won't count the times your heart fluttered. You will count the people who still look you in the eye with honor. You will count the times you stood up for someone's dignity, even when it was inconvenient. Build your life on the bedrock of respect for yourself, for your neighbor, for the person sharing your pillow. Love will come and go like the tide, but respect is the shore that stays. Don't waste your youth chasing a feeling. Build a character that is worth following.